G'day guys, Steve Morgan here for Fishing Monthly Magazines with the legend Alan Whittley from Whittley Boats, and we've come to a beautiful part of Victoria today. This is Queenscliff, down south of Melbourne. Beautiful place to run a boat, and a beautiful place, Alan, to run the SL25 Whittley that we're on at the moment. It's a hardtop. Tell us a little bit about the Sea Legend range and then about this model in particular.
Okay, so this is a new model that we've released, the SL25. It sits in the middle of the range. There's a 22 footer and also a 20. And then from that there's a 26 and 28. So there's a variance of different models available, and obviously different price points and that sort of stuff. Predominantly they're stern drive powered, which is what this one is here today, the Volvo Penta V6 240. They are available with outboard still, but as you can see when we get out there, uniqueness of the stern drive in this style of boat is quite unique, and it's something that we push pretty hard. Being a Sea Legend, it has a deep V offshore hull, and obviously rides on that pedigree with a 23-degree dead rise hull, so it's the deepest V production boat in its class. A lot of the competition are 20 and 21s. We get away with that predominantly. We get a really good ride, but we get away from a stability point of view with the weight of the stern drive down low. And obviously you can see we're both sitting on one side of the boat. The boat's very level for a big deep V offshore hull. So,
tell us about the HT stands for hardtop. Why the hardtop on this model, and what was the need for it?
Okay, obviously the market's seen a big increase in the popularity of hardtops, so we responded to that. The boat was designed to have a hardtop from the beginning, which is one thing we're very big on and very important, because obviously putting a lot of weight up high can change the way the boat rides and drives and stuff on the water. So this one was designed with a hardtop in mind. It's a two-piece hardtop mould, so it's a seamless join, which is quite unique to the market as well, sitting on top of a tailor-made screen with sliding side windows. So you've still got good airflow, which is pretty important in the northern states to still get the airflow through. But yeah, look, and it's got a sliding cabin door as well, so you get full protection from the elements with the hardtop and the sliding cabin door, and obviously that's what the market wants. That's what we've delivered.
For me, it's got a lot of visibility. Like, we look at the windscreens around there, they're very high, and you nearly have that full 360 visibility in the boat. But it's a real combination of a cruiser and a fishing boat, and that's what you find is becoming more and more desired in the marketplace, isn't it? You need a boat that's going to keep the family happy, but Dad can use it for some serious fishing as well.
100%. I think you just summarised Sea Legend in a nutshell. It's the type of boat we had up at Bateman's Bay the other day, took it out to the fat out there, picked up a couple of dolphin fish, and then we come back in the afternoon and trim the drive right up and get out on that big marlin board and have a bit of a flick for flathead and that sort of stuff. We could even stay on the boat if you wanted to. It's got the bunking fill cushion standard, and chuck a sleeping bag in. So it's quite a unique boat that it keeps Dad happy, so he can go out and fish. Go and chase some big fish with the boys and his mates and that sort of stuff. But the next weekend he can be up on the Murray going for a ski with the family, or down Gippsland Lakes enjoying the cruiser side of things. So it is a boat for all seasons, I guess, with a deep V hull.
Now, I've tested some of these Sea Legends before with this DuoProp 240 horsepower Penta. Absolutely. These are real race cars, these boats, aren't they?
It's so much fun. Just turns on a dime, and just anyone can drive it. Just get in and basically apply the throttle and steer it. So we get a lot of younger customers that drive the bigger boats as well, and it's just an exhilarating, fun experience. Particularly with that variable valve timing, that direct fuel injection from the Volvo Penta product, you get a mid-range which is just fantastic, and also you get a really good fuel economy. So yeah, it sort of makes the boat, and I'm sure you'll see that when we get out there today.
Yeah, that's what we like doing at Fishing Monthly. We like taking these boats out on the water and seeing how they work in the real world. We're going to be back to you soon with some performance statistics. So what a cracker of the day in the southern part of Port Phillip Bay here in Victoria, testing Whittley's SL25, the Sea Legend, in the HT hard top model. It's powered by the Generation 5 Volvo Penta with the DuoProp, puts out 240 horsepower, being a petrol V8 engine, and it drives just like that as well. Every single boat I've tested with that 240 horsepower G5 has been a real race car, and this was no exception, and it really got up and went for a 25-foot boat. Top top speed 64 kilometres an hour. You don't really want to look at the fuel usage when that's happening because you're getting less than a kilometre per litre burnt. But if you want to drive it at a sensible speed of around 3,500 RPM, you get 35 kilometres an hour and using only 25 litres per hour, which gives you an economy of 1.4 kilometres per litre of fuel burned. This thing totes around quite easily on the dual axle Mackay trailer. It's a reasonably heavy boat. It's well over 2 tonne, probably approaching 3 tonne on the water, but still it's reasonable economy. If you had an outboard, you would get about the same economy through a big outboard pushing that around. Of course, the unique thing about these Sea Legends is that duck board, and that makes it a very family friendly boat. And I was quite impressed by the actual footprint of the engine well in this. It doesn't chew up half of your cockpit like they may have done in the past. The combination of the duck board, the engine box and the cockpit is actually quite fishable. Instead of the problem of maybe getting your lines across an outboard, you now only have the problem of getting it around the stainless steel framing on the back of the duck board. But as a family-friendly boat, something that's easy to get into and out of the water and easy to load at the dock, it's a great compromise. And we all know that the family has to be happy if Dad wants to get himself a great fishing boat. And of course, this SL hull, very capable offshore as well as inshore. The hard top canopy, it's quite modern looking, and there's great visibility through this. So there's nearly 180 degree views, not obstructed by anything, and there's a lot of height in that hard top as well. And of course the radios and the VHF etc. sits up in the top of the canopy, as most hard tops do nowadays. I love the aesthetics of the sea deck style decking. Whitley do all of that routering in house, has their logos, fish lengths, all that sort of stuff. Indeed, nowadays a boat in around this price range, if it hasn't got that good looking sea deck on it, you sort of wonder what's going on. So it ticks some boxes there. I love the fact that this is a fishing boat. Whitley's always try to be cruisers. Like, it's got a fridge as standard. It's got sinks. It's got all sorts of the modern amenities that you'll find in a lot of their cruisers are built into these Sea Legends. So make sure that you show that to the family when you're doing your boat shopping. Things like the locking cabin door lets you, when you go on road trips, you can keep all the valuables up the front, and that door can lock and you can keep your important stuff out of the road. I really liked it. Slow trolling speeds, used only around 2.5 litres an hour at a speed I'd troll for a Spanish mackerel. You're not using much fuel at all, so these big V8s, when they're not working hard, are quite good on the gas. This thing comes standard with trim tabs. I found we didn't have a lot of weight on today, but all of the hull attitude adjustment you needed to do, you could do through the trim and the engine. So to me, that's a good hull will run without trim tabs when you don't need to do any load balancing. So sat well out there today. Of course, everything's a great boat when it's only blowing 5 to 10 knots, but the chops of this boat, it seems great when it doesn't need any of the accessories to run well. If you want more information, Whitley have a Facebook page. It's now just called Whitley. They've got a website, whitleymarineGroup.com.au, and they've just released a new build a boat range where you can have a virtual tour of a boat, build your own boat, see how much it's going to cost, and go through all of those machinations before you even talk to a Whitley dealer or a salesman. This package, the SL25, start at around mid 130,000s. This one, with a bit more fruit on it, with the Garmin and all of the gear it's got on it, just under $160,000. So make sure you see your nearest Whitley dealer or check them out at whitleymarineGroup.com.au.